Hi, students. Group discussions are quite challenging because often organizations give very abstract topic. Just last week, one of the topics given at a big business school was Are influencers influencing? There were total 8 students and 15 minutes time was given to discuss this topic. Are influencers influencing? Now, this kind of an abstract topic is something which can often lead to confusion as to how to speak on it. However, there is, on the contrary, a very beautiful aspect which makes abstract topics relatively facile, and that is the ability to interpret it according to your convenience and then lead the group discussion very smartly. So, let me today give you a technique by which you can quickly interpret these abstract topics according to the area which is your strength and then lead the group very nicely. So, let's take this topic. Are the influencers really influencing? Here, the first thing that you must think when it's given the time to discuss and sort of plan your talk before the discussion is who are the possible influencers? So you need to think quickly that when the term influencer is being used, who does it signify? And there could be 5 prominent influencers. Number one, educational institution, teachers, schools, colleges. Number two, political institutions, the politicians, various political parties or political establishments. Number three, religious institutions, the various kind of religious bodies, religious priests. After all, they are all influencing the opinion of the public. Number four, government and related sources. So various ministers, MLAs, MPs, through their campaign are of course doing nothing else but trying to influence our opinion. And finally, number five, media, newspaper, magazines, social media in today's world are all doing the task of influencing the view. So once you're clear who are the people who are being referred to as influencers, then you want to sort of quickly think that are they doing a good job of influencing you? Is educational system doing a good job of shaping up? Is religious body, whichever body you may be associated with, influencing your thought process? Various kind of social medias or channels, are they doing a good job at this or no? So the cis sort of becomes the second step where you are quickly judging, are they doing a good job influencing? If yes, how? And then in the end you probably reserve your thoughts for what should change. If some institution is failing, be it media, political institution, religious bodies, educational institution, if they are failing, then what should be changed? And based on all of this, you make your group discussion approach. So let's give a small demonstration. And the first speaker is always a introducer, a leader, whose task is to introduce the topic. So as a leader, you may want to give a start as follows. My dear friends, it's my great privilege to welcome you all at this Institute of Investment Banking Company, and our group discussion topic is an extremely pertinent topic where we have been asked to debate are influencers influencing or not. Now, time is limited. We have been given only 15 minutes and it's a compulsory consensus group discussion. So, may I quickly suggest that influencers is a term which we can use for anyone, any person or institute who has the ability and also the responsibility to influence the opinion. So, educational institutions, religious bodies, political institutions, social media, channels, newspapers are all which would constitute influencers. And what the group could discuss is how are all of these sections doing in terms of their job of influencing others. And based on that, we could eventually come up with recommendations. Are the influencers influencing and what is it that they need to transform? So this is how an opener could introduce the topic. And then thereon, depending on how the sequence goes, each student may take up a role of talking about one specific topic. So suppose you enter as the first speaker who is to sort of follow after the initiator. So you would go as follows. Thank you for your introduction, my friend. Please allow me to talk briefly about educational institutions. While education institutions have a very vital responsibility of managing our nation, however, it's a matter of worry that nowadays because of the hybrid mode of education and the schools struggling between online versus offline, that role is not being disseminated to the way it should be done. So I think there is a serious need for teachers to change their methods, for the various kind of curriculum bodies to evolve new curriculum so that they can educate and influence also. The same goes for colleges also, because our study system has become quite archaic and non-vocational. Therefore, I think a major catharsis is needed in the education so that the teachers can really influence the students better. Now, at this stage, a second candidate may enter and say, I think that the big influencers of today are social media, and it is really very worrying to see how anybody who may not even have a proper education qualification could just use channels such as Instagram, YouTube, and start giving dissertations and speeches without the veracity of that person, the credentials of that person's being questioned. So, yes, influencers are influencing. However, it's a very worrying and dangerous sign that those who don't even have the qualifications can sometimes come as preachers of things which actually they have no credibility to speak on. And thereafter, you move on to maybe political establishment. That yes, political establishments are a big influencer and they're doing a good job of influencing. However, very sadly, they have their hidden agenda, which can often really mire the entire noble purpose of their message. So, religious intolerance, political sectarianism, dividing people is all being important strategic tools being used by political parties for their own gain. So, they are influencing, but unfortunately, towards a very evil motive of their political gains. Like this, it keeps going on. And if you want to sort of argue back, then you could say, friends, I have noted all of your points. However, the message which has been given to us in the task is we have to agree whether influencers are influencing or not. So, from what our group is discussing, I'm beginning to make out that we can all agree that educational institutions are struggling. On the other hand, social media based propagators or political parties are able to use these kind of mediums more effectively. As an example of corporate leader Elon Musk wanting to buy out this popular medium of Twitter is driven by nothing else but with the desire to control and influence the movement of the youth. So I believe that the group can really agree that influencing is happening so long as the channel medium is being smartly used. So, in this sense, I think the group could give a recommendation as to what are the future mediums of communications which should be used to influence. At this point, a final summarizer may enter and could probably conclude the debate or the discussion by saying, my friends, we have had a very healthy and very convivial debate. So, time is almost finished. So, may I present the summary by saying that influencers are really influencing provided they are taking care of three things. Number one, their content is appealing because today's public has shorter attention span. They are more curious about things which are related to them. Therefore, the relevance of content becomes very important. Number two, the art of presenting content. So students, the youth, which is the important market, gets more attracted towards fun-based, entertainment-based kind of a learning. So conventional methods, if they are continued to be used, could be counterproductive and the youth could lose interest. So the way you present content packaged in an entertaining, exciting factor plays a very big role. And thirdly, which medium are you using? So times have changed. Therefore, if our influencers have to influence, then they have to judiciously master the art of using social media, Instagram, YouTube, and make a very beautiful package which can succeed in the hybrid mode. So, all in all, the group concludes that the influencers are influencing. However, they can influence more effectively if they choose the right content, package it in a right entertaining manner, and deliver it through the right kind of media which may be properly chosen, keeping in mind your target audience. So, this is how you could do a group discussion on an abstract topic. Are influencers influencing or not? This is Gagan Singh signing off for the day. Please stay tuned and please press the subscribe and like button because we'll be back again with more videos on group discussion and interview topics.